This video and its contents are for adult collectors.
Hey guys, it's Bots Obsession, and I've gotten a lot of new stuff in the past week and a half. So we're gonna kind of just do a speed run of all of it. This isn't gonna be a full review of all of these. I just want to show this off so that way it's out there and you guys can kind of see what videos are coming up. Walmart's been clearancing out a lot of yesterday's Transformer stuff, and I was able to snag Studio Series 86 Bumblebee for about $11. Now this is a pretty good little bot, I'll throw that out there. At 11 bucks, I'm very, very happy with this. I don't know how much I would have liked this at the $25 price tag, and this is also my first time handling it. At 25, it does seem like a lot for this little guy, especially whenever you compare him to what came before, that being the Volkswagen Bumblebee mold. I do think that this is better-ish. The feet are much larger, yet also smaller at the same time. The wheels don't fold down, which I don't absolutely love. The shoulders are ball jointed instead of being universal, but there are some really cool tricks here. I don't like this though. There's like a step where you have to like hinge the backpack down like this, and it like latches down on like a soda bottle style thing to lock everything in. And I don't, there it goes. Yeah, like that. And I don't love that. I do really like how the shoulders like invert and totally flip around. And he does share some engineering cues with the Volkswagen mold, but overall, I think this is a fine one. And the blaster is especially a nice addition now that Bumblebee doesn't have a giant cannon. But for vehicle mode, I'll tell you right now, the Penny Racer is cute and all, but it is not my preferred Bumblebee vehicle mode. For that, I do really like the Netflix version. I'm still kind of going back and forth whether or not I want to display this one in my collection. And something that is a unfortunate side effect of just the way that this works, he does have two Autobot logos in vehicle mode. It is kind of goofy. I really wish that they put a panel right here that rotated around so that way you can make this disappear in vehicle mode. Is what it is. I know a lot of people aren't going to be displaying this in vehicle mode, and if you're really that upset about it, you could probably remove this logo, but then it's not accurate to this. It's one of those things where it goes back and forth. You know, I do like the pinned wheels. That is nice. I wish he had more of the spare tire look back here instead of the, you know, the blaster pegging in back there, especially because it looks like there's a port for it right there. But I do like it. I think it's a fine figure, and if you can find it on clearance for 11 bucks like I did, and you don't have it, 100% worthwhile. I do think it is a good Bumblebee. Probably the most disappointing get that I got was Cybertron GTS Ransack. I found this at a local shop, a reseller shop, for $5, and I was like, wow, it's complete. It looks complete. That's incredible. I'm gonna pick that up. And I did clean it. It was in pretty rough shape, so I did. By the way, if you want like videos on how to like restore Transformers, please let me know. I would love to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, he has a cyber key, does still function, everything works, and I just cleaned him with warm soapy water. I just took some Dawn dish soap and some warm water and cleaned him up. The problem with this one is whenever I got him into robot mode, and some of you who own this mold or have found this mold kind of just out and about at like conventions or in the wild may know what I'm about to say. So I'm transforming him, I'm thinking, wow, what a great get. I'll put him on my Cybertron shelf, and then I flip up the wheels, and as someone who's never had this mold before, I go to stand him up, and I'm like, huh, that's really strange. So I look for heel spurs, and yeah, there's nothing back there. He does not have his heels. So I'm gonna have to find either a junker one that has the heels or parts off of my Facebook groups to try and put the heels back on here. I'm just gonna have to 3D print a little peg that comes out of the leg and helps him stand up, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing, is just 3D printing a replacement one and painting it white. Overall though, I do really like the colors on this guy. I do actually quite like him. He's fairly posable with ball jointed elbows and swivel shoulder and universal shoulders. And the ball jointed hips are a little limited, but they do get around, and the ball jointed knees are nice. So overall, like, not a bad figure, especially at like a scout class. These Cybertron scouts are pretty good. It is just unfortunate that mine does not have his heels, but at least he's otherwise complete. So maybe I can find some heels for this guy. Coming down into one of the more random ones I got, but a welcome one, I got Skidsy from RID01. This comes from my podcast. These next three actually all come from my podcast co-host, Lord Giga Ice. If you haven't seen the podcast, go check out Your Plastic Addiction. But this comes from his collection. I ordered a package from him. I've had some stuff sitting with him that I've been meaning to pick up, and he threw this in. He said he had it sitting in storage and that he had heard me say that I was missing Skidsy. I didn't have Skidsy in my collection, so he ended up sending me this one. And it is fully complete, has the blaster, both parts of the blaster, his very Shockwave style blaster. And yeah, he's in pretty good shape. He's a little yellowed, but that's okay. Nothing I can't fix. Again, if you want a video like that, please let me know. But yeah, no, Skidsy's in pretty good shape. He's pretty fun. He's a flip changer, much like, as you guys are familiar with if you watch my channel, Machine Wars Hoist. He is a little different from Machine Wars Hoist, and I believe this one actually came in a 2-pack with the RID wind shear that I reviewed a while back. Mine, unfortunately, had his windshield explode somehow. But yeah, so another flip changer for me, another RID character off the list. I'm super excited for this guy. Now, some cool stuff about this dude. Ooh, bumped the camera. Some cool stuff about this guy. One, his blaster splits into 2 parts, which is what makes him kind of difficult to find complete. But he can actually store his blaster in his shins, a la Cannonball Legacy and Cybertron Cannonball. You can tuck that piece in there. He has a port on that leg, so you can take the handle of his blaster and tuck it in there. So if you're ever looking for this guy out in the wild, make sure to check his legs. And then tab these together. So that's pretty cool. And of course, he is a flip changer, so just tab that in, flip him back, and there we go. We have a nice little F1 racer, which I believe, yep, his wheels are Hot Wheel axled together, so he actually does roll incredibly nice. And to transform him, pop that up, pop that down, and there we go. There we have, alrighty, Skidsy. A while back, I sold my Earthrise Optimus Prime, mainly because me and Lord Gig had talked about splitting a 3-pack, and that finally came in. So this is, ooh, he's a tall boy. This is Dramatic Capture Optimus Prime. I absolutely adore the Earthrise mold. I think the Earthrise mold is just fantastic. I think it fits in with a ton of Legacy stuff. I think it fits in with a ton of, obviously, the Earthrise, Siege, Kingdom stuff. It fits in wonderfully with that. And when I saw Dramatic Capture Optimus, I was like, that is the Optimus Prime for me. I just knew I'd have to find someone getting rid of it. And luckily, Lord Gig really only wanted the mainframe. So I was able to talk to him about splitting the pack and getting this awesome deco for Earthrise Optimus. And God, what a beautiful mold this is. All the joints are tightened up. Everything feels super buttery smooth. Silver gas cans on the back with the white thighs, ankles. Everything on here feels super premium. Love the blue hands. Love the soft blue on the helmet. The baby blue eyes right there. Does still have the opening matrix chamber with the matrix in there. Looks absolutely wonderful. Love the white outline Autobot symbol. It does look a little weird next to some of the other stuff from Legacy and War for Cybertron, but hey, is what it is. And Lord Gig, actually, one of the reasons he was getting rid of this is because he's already kind of kit bashed his own Perfect Optimus, and one of the side effects of that is he has a ton of trailers, and with some slight customization, he hooked me up with an animation accurate Earthrise trailer to go with this Optimus Prime. So this is absolutely fantastic. He also is a toy hacks connoisseur. So this thing has a bunch of toy hacks in it. So if I pop this bad boy open right here, you can see the drone has some toy hacksing on it. Looks gorgeous. The inside has some specs. You got the Matrix over here. Got some specs about, looks like Primus, maybe Omega Supreme, some other tech, some tech specs, some stats, some cells. Back over here we get the floor grading, same thing over here, some tech specs. Looks like Bumblebee's calling over here, some stuff about roller and whatnot. It's just a wonderful little addition that he did for this, and I absolutely adore it. So thank you so much, Gig. This is absolutely wonderful, and this is like my collection's definitive Optimus Prime. The last and most certainly not least important thing that I got in the care package from Gig is a very special item. This is an incredibly cool piece, and that is BotCon 2005 Deathsaurus. For those who don't know, this was a 2005, obviously a 2005 BotCon exclusive. It is done off of the RID Megatron mold, and it is just stunning. I adore this color scheme. Getting the camera kind of fixed up here. The chrome on this is immaculate. Everything on here is just gorgeous. And from what Gig has told me about this, he actually acquired this during a clearance sale from FunPub back when they were getting rid of some stuff. I don't remember if he said it was during 2016 when they were kind of clearing out and going out of business, or if it was just something that they had in overstock and he was able to scoop it up. But as far as I can tell, he's the only person who's had this, and it is in just immaculate shape. The colors on this are beautiful compared to the RID Megatron. Everything about this is a fantastic figure. I absolutely love this. And of course, I'd be wrong not to show it off next to my Omega Splendid over here. So let's kind of get that beauty shot. Oh my gosh, they're wonderful together. And yes, it can form the claw mode to go on that, so I can have like the most daft and expensive devil hand for Omega Prime. Yeah, just a stunning and gorgeous. That's the only problem with it. So with everything here, what is kind of my favorite thing that I picked up so far? I really like Skidsy. The Bumblebee is a nice surprise. Obviously, Deathsaurus is a solid pickup. Ransack is a little disappointing, unfortunately, but I do think that my favorite thing out of the whole lot is the Optimus Prime. It is so good, and I've had my collection primeless for quite some time, so to get the, like, what I consider definitive Optimus into my collection is a big deal for me. I really, really do like this. I love everything on this table. Ransack is kind of like but the Bumblebee was really nice to find for a good price, and of course everything I got from Lord Gig is just spectacular. It's all in wonderful condition and wonderful nick, so I'm so happy to actually have that. And a lot of this is like gap filler stuff. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out the support links down in the description, including the Discord and the Patreon. It's just $1, and I will see you guys in the next video. This has been Bots Obsession.